Joining us now is Power the Future founder and executive director, Daniel Turner. It is so wonderful to have you with us tonight, Daniel. We're looking at kind of pockets of the country that are maybe more susceptible to these blackouts this winter. If we are getting strains on the power grid, more people turning on the heat. When I last looked at the map, it was pockets in the Pacific Northwest, maybe areas of Texas, around the Central South. What are you kind of looking for when it comes to blackouts this winter? Are they possibilities? Are you talking about this?
It's always a possibility, and the concerning thing is that in the previous administration, the Biden administration closed over 100 coal plants nationwide, and they replaced it with nothing. They replaced it with the promise of wind, the promise of solar, and as we saw with the recent Republican budget, the appropriations for those wind and solar projects is gone. We've gotten rid of that Keynesian-style economy that will support these green technologies, which aren't green and don't actually work. And so the problem is that we're adding all of this demand for baseload power, and we are not producing enough baseload power, and we've actually been crippled by the previous administration. So I'm optimistic about what AI means for the future, but I'm not optimistic about the future of our electric grid. And I think this current administration has been given a really, really bad poison pill that is now on their lap that they have to figure out.
So what's the answer here? Obviously, in terms of the power generation, long-term, nuclear may be a bigger part of the mix, but that takes a long time. You're talking about really an imminent demand surge, and the infrastructure needed is the Trump deregulation that's occurred to this point. Does that make a difference on power needed in the next year or two?
It does, but baseload power doesn't come online very quickly. I think the long-term solutions, especially when it comes to AI, is these data centers have to be built where the energy is. I live in rural Virginia, 2 hours or so from D.C., and I pass a third or two-thirds of the nation's data centers, which are all in Loudoun and Fairfax County. Why? It's expensive, valuable real estate, and there's a lot of people. We should be building data centers in rural Alaska, where there's plenty of natural gas, a lot of available land, and who cares if it's negative 30 degrees, right? We should be building data centers in the Permian Basin, where there's so much natural gas that we're actually flaring it because we can't bring it to market fast enough. So we're building these data centers, and politicians are driving this. Governors want ribbon cutting. We're building them in urban areas, and they could be built where there's energy and not a population competing for that same power.
Daniel, in our last minute that we have with you, I do want to quickly change gears and talk about all the climate activists who are gathering at COP30 in Brazil. Among them, Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, the only U.S. elected official to attend. And when he was there, he was just complaining about us. Watch here.
I am the entirety of the United States presence here at the COP. So if you want a pretty clear visual on how we're being walked by China, who is here with a big and popular presence, all you need to do is take a look at the China Pavilion.
So, Daniel, also there, California Governor Gavin Newsom, your thoughts in our last 30 seconds here.
I will never kiss the boots of the communist Chinese that use slave and child labor to build crappy wind and solar, which drives up the price of American electricity. It is typical Sheldon blue blood, whites-only country club Whitehouse that would go to a foreign country, Brazil, bash the American president in the China Pavilion on the name of climate change. It's insanity, and it's absolute shameful.
Daniel Turner, we have to leave it there. So great to have you. Yeah, way to drop the mic on that one. Have a great night, everyone.